Okay, hello. My name is Dylan Anderson. I am a student for the AWD 1115 course this semester. I guess we'll go over first just all the different projects. So these are the chapter 1 projects that we pretty much did with in class together almost. I wanted to go over project number I think it's 5, but we'll just go over some of the other code. So the basic, console write line, enter your name, enter age, and then it prints out hello, whoever whoever typed in their name, and your age is blank. So these allow the user input from these to be shown here in this string. Let's go over. Here's the code from project number 2 showing and this one was fun because if this is more so of a real world scenario for interviews and such like that, I think I'm gonna be practicing this quite a bit just so it becomes muscle memory almost. That would be better than having to do you know figure it out step by step if I can just remember what all this is and kind of go from there. Muscle memory is a huge thing for me in this right now. So yeah, this is the fizz buzz. When you run this is project number 2. But yeah, just a basic if statement, if else, else if. So the upper limit, if we do the normal 15, you've got 1, 2 fizz, 4 buzz, 5, 4, 4 buzz, fizz, 7, 8 fizz, buzz, 11 fizz, 13, 14 fizz buzz. So I thought that was really cool because that's just a good warm up, um, you know, to kind of practice. So I really liked that. But let's get into project number 5. Because I this was a real good refresher. Just kind of adding loops, conditionals, string building, character checking. We had a little bit of input validation in here, some algorithm thinking. So yeah, we the goal of this was to create a program that if the user inputs a credit card number, it would mask every number but the last four. So this is a real good, um, I think, real world scenario if you're doing web development for any sort of restaurant, um, anything that, any sort of service that takes a credit card, debit card, something like that. You're going to want to have some sort of security protocol in line so you do not see the numbers. So I think that this is used quite a bit, and there's a lot of ways that you can add on to this. The big thing in here is the char is digit. So this allowed us to check the characters between 0 and 9. And this matters because in this scenario, the spaces should stay, any dashes should stay, only digits should be masked. So any of those special characters should not be counted in as the count for the masked numbers because you don't want it to mask all the dashes and count that, and then you've got 6 or 8 numbers of your credit card showing. So that is important there. This allows multiple card format inputs because you're not assuming that the user, unless it's pre-selected where the dashes are already in there and the user just has to type in numbers. You can't assume that the user is not going to type in the dashes or the spaces or whatever. So you have to account for all different scenarios. Um, and then let's see the uh, the second loop right here, the current digit and the digit count. Um, this is our core masking logic, so this allows it to count the numbers and up until the last four, and then we're going to keep those shown and mask everything else before that. So, and then the mask number is going to be with an X. You can change that to whatever, but standard would be X here. And then the spaces and the dashes stay because of this statement right here, the masked number plus equals C. So that holds our masked. It it more so preserves the formatting, I guess, is a better term for that. And so my approach may look a little bit different. I know there's probably 10 different ways to code this, but I used the for each and the if else. You could also do a do while loop, um, but my current code directly accepts input and it processes immediately. If you did a do while loop, the advantages to that would be it guarantees at least one input attempt. I think technically it has a cleaner validation logic. Um, I'm not too certain. That would be a Professor Govinstead question probably, but I think that a do while loop would be somewhat cleaner. And then a do while I think also has more so a better scalability for larger projects. So I probably took the short clean route here just for this example, but if this was going to be on a just a short portion of a website format, this would be much better suited in a do while loop rather than a for each. um, let's see, I have in larger applications, separating validation from processing usually makes code easier to maintain. So I had that starred as a note that I would like to get across. Um, and so yeah, just back to the real world relevance and why I chose this project to kind of go over with you guys. It's the basics of data privacy, protecting sensitive information, and it's the masking techniques that are still used in our banking and DoorDash today. So it is very relevant, very, very usable. Um, I think I know this was just a beginner lab, but some possible improvements that I could make um, would be like validating minimum card lengths. So if there was if I just typed in five numbers or six numbers, it would leave everything. It's really only looking for that full card number. And then in detecting invalid characters, I don't have really um, an error or a warning to say, hey, you typed in A and shouldn't have, that's not a valid input. So adding something like that. String builder for performance, just to kind of not use up so much space. And then supporting other format types, I think would be if we were going to be working on this full format, that would be another one that I could add in there. So yeah, I think this assignment was definitely a good refresher for me. It helped me better understand. This was one of those assignments in an earlier course that kind of helped me understand loops, character processing, string manipulation, while also showing how small algorithms can solve real world security problems. So, yeah, this was a cool one for me. Thank you guys.